LeBron, they jumped all over you guys in the first half, but you guys never seemed to panic, even down 26 points. Is that indicative of your leadership on this team and having gone to 6 straight finals and understanding what it takes to win at this point?
Well, first of all, like you said, they definitely jumped all over us, and we knew we had to take, one of their punches, but they gave us a flurry, more than we expected. But, it's just, got to keep your composure and understand that it's a 48-minute game, and, at halftime, just looking at the guys, just telling them, let's just get a couple stops. We can't erase a 26-point game in one possession. We just got to get stops, and let's execute, get the ball flying and moving around, and once we did that, we got our composure, we got some stops, we started to play our game, and, the momentum changed for us.
LeBron, we talked a lot this season about the depth of the roster and everything and how much attention is paid to you, Kyrie and Kevin. How much can this benefit you going forward when you pull off this kind of comeback with basically the bench group, you and the bench group, and Kyrie and Kevin on the bench?
This was why the team was built this way. Our depth is, there's been challenged this year because of injuries. We haven't been able to get a full, dosage of what we can become, even with the guys on the floor. But, our bench definitely got the game ball tonight. Channing, Shump, D. Will, Kyle. Those guys came in, gave us, huge minutes. And we needed everything from them. They were very, we was on point defensively, and then offensively we knew exactly what we wanted to get to, and it was a big win for us.
LeBron, I asked you about this early in the season, but now that we're in the playoffs, have the three-point shooting acumen of this team rubbed off on you at all, and have you consciously tried to add that as a major wrinkle of your game?
Just want to get better every year, and I don't settle. I just don't settle for, not being able to do something, so just putting the work in, and understanding that I'm not, the best shooter on the team when it comes to three-pointers. We got, JR and Channing and Kyle and Champ, and Kyrie. These guys got three-point contest trophies in their house. So, for me, I just try to keep the defense, off balance. And tonight I was able to do that. I was able to get into the paint, get to the free throw line, make a couple of shots outside, and just open it up for all of us.
LeBron, the Pacers' offensive pace dropped in the third quarter. They didn't have as many possessions as they did in the first half. How much do you think that helped give you a window to get your own offense going and get back into it?
Well, the best way to get offense is to defend and create missed shots. We did a better job of contesting shots. We did a better job of keeping bodies on bodies. And, in the third quarter, it allowed us to get back into the game and outscoring them 35-17. So, the first half was not us, but they made it not be us, by, giving us 37 in both quarters. So, we just had to change that approach, and we did that in the second half.
LeBron, you talked about that start of the fourth quarter group. That's been one that you've been leading, but it's changed pieces. When D. Will is in that group and Kyle's in that group, what does that do for it?
Well, first of all, it's just two very cerebral basketball players, guys that's played in big games in the postseason. So you look at the lineup that we had out there, myself, D. Will, Shump, Channing, Kyle, it's just playoff experience. And, and to have Kyle and D. Will, these guys have played so many, big games and playoff games before that they're not going to shy away from the moment. So it's big time for us.
I know you've said many times that you don't worry about what's happening in your career in the moment. You'll have time when it's over to sit around and drink a bottle of wine and reflect on it. But in a game like this, there's a stat out there that you scored or assisted on 73 points tonight, which is a playoff high for you in your career. Are there moments, are there games where you can walk off the floor and understand and appreciate something special just happened, that you just pulled off the biggest comeback in history from a halftime deficit? Do you have those chances to appreciate what's happening?
I can't even sit up here and say I can. The one thing that I do know is that we had a huge halftime deficit, and we was able to come back and win the game. I didn't know that it was the biggest comeback and things of that nature. And for myself, I don't know, man. I just try to put myself in position to help my teammates win, and no matter who on the floor with me, I try to empower them. I try to make them better. Try to make them believe that we can be great every night, no matter who's on the floor with me. And for myself, I just don't settle for being not as great as I can be, and it's not gonna result in a stat line like this every night, But my mind is where my mind is. When my mind is fresh and when my mind is in the moment, then sometimes certain things like this happen. So I don't know. I can't even really appreciate it. I'll let you guys kind of write your words about it and go from there. But the only thing that matters is the win, and that's what I'm here for.
When something like this happens, is it emotional? I presume I was thinking maybe you'd have to put your emotions aside as you're making the comeback, but when it's over, what was that feeling like?
I mean, you just look at the excitement of my teammates after we won the game. I mean, I had the ball all the way on the other end of the floor, and all the teammates came down to just congratulate each other on a huge win. I mean, to win on the road in the postseason is already tough enough. And for us to win in the fashion we did tonight is even tougher. So, I don't think as a group we don't take that for granted, and we showed that emotion, after the clock went to 0.
It's not a basketball question, but I'm just curious if you've had a chance to listen to the new Kendrick Lamar record some more. I know that you posted on Instagram. Thoughts on that? Is it better than his last one? What are your thoughts?
That's a great question, man. I haven't stopped listening to it since he sent it to me. I don't even know if that was last week or not, before it came out. And the guy is an unbelievable talent. His wordplay and his lyrics is unbelievable. And it hit home for me at times because I was a kid that grew up in the inner city. And his story of, the notion of you either play basketball or sell drugs or that's it, and there's no out. You become a statistic. As an African-American kid growing up in the inner city, they don't believe that you can get out and become something. So that's why I'm able to relate to a lot of his lyrics and relate to a lot of his stories, so he's an unbelievable, like I said, unbelievable artist, unbelievable person. And I'm glad that he's able to put those words onto a track, and then for all of us to be able to hear it. And for me, I definitely appreciate it. So.